102.3 WBAB, Long Island's #1 rock station. Roger and JP. Friday morning. Happy to see the smiling face of Nick DiPaolo. How you doing? It's good to have you back.
I'm like a baby. It's gas.
Yeah, he's been sniffing nitrous in the lobby.
Nick is playing Suffolk Theater tonight, and last time you played, you were here. It was the first time we had you in. It was nice to have you. It felt like I made a little friendship with you. And,
absolutely.
A little bond, and we like it.
Yeah. Well, kinda. Because at the time you went on, it was like the tail end of the Derek Jeter retirement tour.
True.
And you were filled with a little bit of angst towards the captain.
The captain?
The captain.
No, glad to see him go.
Nick's a big Red Sox fan, and you're not going to get a lot of kind words from him.
I'm just saying, if Jeter played his career in Milwaukee, would anybody know who he is?
No, here we go again.
And that's where we left off.
He's a clutch guy. Look, come on.
Yeah, he was.
He was unbelievably clutch, and just come on. His numbers speak for themselves.
But you know what I still find remarkable is, like, even with all the crap, and A-Rod's been out of the game for however, anytime A-Rod shows up on a beach, there's pictures. Look what A-Rod's doing. That last game of the season, nobody's seen Derek Jeter. He's like a ghost.
Well, he was always smart about cheating on his girlfriend.
Right.
Kept it very quiet.
Much better than A-Rod, you know?
A-Rod's stupid. He's walking out of hotels with them, with photographers
there. I know.
What are you doing?
I'm sort of like A-Rod. Every time I cheated on a girlfriend, I was busted 8 minutes after.
Right.
You know what it was?
Did you ever have, when I was in high school, I had two of them show up at my house together. That's
that
rough.
happened, and I had an apartment in the Upper East Side of Manhattan. And I started dating this girl, Holly, who, lived across the street in this big complex.
Right.
And then I went home to Boston to do comedy and met this unbelievably good-looking waitress and had her come down. And
really?
Yeah, and supposedly Holly was out of town. All of a sudden, ding dong. Now, there's two of them.
Holly at the door and the waitress is in the apartment with you.
And the waitress got pissed and left.
But mine got in cahoots. Mine showed up.
Oh, they'll do that too. They're like Nazis.
Like the door. There was a knock on the door. I was expecting my girlfriend to come over. There was a knock on the door. I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then out from like where my mailbox steps the other one. I was like, "Ooh!"
Like Jackie Jr. on The Sopranos.
I just walked. Yeah. And I just walked up the top of my stairs. I sat down in the house. I go, all right, who's first? And I just took the beating. And the next thing I know, they leave, they slam the door. Then there's another thump on my door. It's anything I had ever given or left at any of the houses.
Oh, yeah.
Poof. I was like, okay.
I had a girlfriend throw a VCR I gave her out her window.
So this is a
smash
while back.
right in the driveway. And then some clothes.
You gave her a VCR. It's really like romantic.
Wasn't that good a gift? This was like 3 years ago, so I was a little behind the time.
Right. It was funny when you were here last time when we did the show at you did the show at Suffolk Theater. I went out to check it out,
and it was packed. By
it was
the way.
packed.
Thank you, fellas.
It was packed. It's there's got to be 2,000 seats in there. It's got to be.
No, good God, no.
Oh, it's not that big.
No, hell, no. If I could do 2,000 seats,
I thought that place.
I wouldn't be here.
It looked really. That's not the whole up. Well, whatever. It was packed.
It looks
and
like
it was
2,000.
a good crowd, and
probably more like 400.
But there was definitely some. There was definitely some people that were older, right? That maybe they have like the season pass to the Suffolk Theater.
Yeah, they might be founding members of the theater or something. Yeah, part of the restoration.
And Nick comes out and starts doing his thing, and I just see this one older woman go, "Ooh."
That was the air conditioning.
What do you start with that would have made her go, "Ooh"?
They're not the problem, the older people, actually. I mean, right at the beginning, they might be a little, but they're not the problem. It's the young a-holes that come off college campuses with their heads filled with all this politically correct mush. And
can't wait to be offended,
codes.
right?
Yeah, they can't wait to be offended.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the problem. People my age and up eat this stuff up because they're jaded and they hate where the world's going.
They're racist and they love all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw, do you watch that Comedians in Cars? Haven't caught me.
I've seen a couple episodes.
I saw the Bill Burr one. And he just went off. He goes, some dickhead blogger,
dude,
a-hole, right? He goes, it starts blogging about it. It's like trouble at the Laugh Factory or controversy. Next thing you know, it's all over the place. He goes, I don't want to pay. He goes, I don't want to play a cop. He goes, I just want to do what I got to do to get people to come to my stand-up because when you have the stage, that's it. Like there's nothing better than having that audience.
Yeah, it's still one of the only places where you can cut loose.
But can you still?
Oh, yeah.
Because of those pesky bloggers?
Oh, F them. I threaten.
The comedy stage is pretty much wide open. Unless you go to where Michael Richards went to from Seinfeld with the N-word thing. That got him in trouble. That seemed to be over the line.
Well, yeah, because that wasn't a joke what he did.
Right,
he just snapped. But I
rage.
had almost a similar incident on that exact same stage.
Did you?
Years prior.
What happened?
I didn't say the N-word.
No.
But I'm doing like an audition. There was like people, HBO, Showtime, I can't remember who was there, to see me and a few other guys.
Okay.
And so it's kind of an important night. I'm in the middle of my set, and these bunch of black people come in the balcony and start yelling stuff right in the middle of my set.
At you?
So I just came back with some, Cosby reference or something. Get heckled by the cast of Cosby or something, and everybody
that's
laughed.
Gentle. That's fine. That's funny.
But it happened at that exact same stage. So when I saw Michael Richards, I go, "What is it? That room?"
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
It was kind of odd.
We're talking to Nick DiPaolo. NickDip.com is his website, and because your Boston accent, it's an assumption. Are you friends with Bill Burr? Guys like that, Louis. Louis C.K. from Boston, right?
Yeah.
You all know each other because all the Long Island comics know each other.
Me
That's
and Louis were roommates.
Wow.
We came down from Boston together,
and
so we lived together. It's hard now. I'll be in traffic in New York City going to a Sprite audition, and I see his face on the side of a bus with the #1 show in America.
Yeah. or don't leave out Nick's doing the Suffolk Theater tonight, and your buddy Lou is doing 4 sold-out shows at Madison Square Garden.
Is he really?
4.
Isn't that
Is he doing the Garden?
4 shows.
4 shows.
Yeah.
How do you do 4?
Not
How does a comedian do
not
that?
not the theater at Madison Square Garden.
The big round
Madison
thing.
Square Garden.
Where the Bruins playing the Rangers. The big round one.
Yeah, and he could have done that last year. He did. Instead, he did 10 shows at the City Center or something, which isn't as big.
Right.
But he did like 10 or 12 shows as opposed to doing like 4 at Madison Square Garden. Right. So I knew this was coming. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Did he just announce it? Imagine.
So you've known him a long time, since before he was like funny and popular.
He was always funny.
He always was, huh?
Yeah. What made him really funny is when he got divorced and got a little bitter.
Yeah.
And that sort of opened up all these other avenues.
Yeah.
But he's always been a genius. I mean, he's frighteningly smart. This guy, he's got a national TV show. He sits, he writes it, directs it. He edits that show on his laptop, like when he's at Starbucks.
Right.
This is a show that goes out on national TV. He's like sitting there having a cup of coffee, editing his own show. He's creepy smart, man, and he's brutally funny and always prolific. We were always jealous of him because he always had new stuff.
Yeah.
And but I remember when he had he had a black sports coat on. His hair was combed to the side. He looked like an anchor. He looked like an anchor man from Long Island. And but he deserves. That's one guy. Some people get famous. You're a little jealous. That's one guy. It's like, no, this
and
guy
comedians
deserves
backbite.
it.
Traditionally, comedians are all jealous of each other, but this is one guy you can let go, huh?
He's just exactly.
He's
He's a nice guy, and we live together. He's a little eccentric, man. And he said he took acid like 100 times in high school, and I wish I did.
Right.
I was sticking to the coke, but listen.
Does it get you again, not jealous, but does it motivate? Cause
it inspires, absolutely. You got to keep going. It's it is a crapshoot.
It's what you do.
It's what exactly.
Why are you guys all so depressed? Why do so many comics?
The funny guys are pretty dark and depressed.
Right.
The cheery, happy guys. I'll show you really crappy comics.
Right, exactly right.
I don't know. It's that's how it manifests itself, and I guess you use the humor to hide that or whatever. Even like Johnny Carson was a dark soul. He liked to drink his booze. He's kind of a mean guy off stage.
The few times you've been in it, at this point, I kind of feel like we've bonded. I don't want you dead in a hotel room.
Yeah.
As long as it's a nice one. Long as it's not the Red Roof Inn in Sacramento. I'm at the Funny Bone.
A nice hotel you're good with.
2 fat whores. One of them male. I mean. Yeah.
But you didn't know, so it's all right.
Hey, listen, these days everything's okay, man.
No, I know. That's the problem.
Right.
Do you have a vice? A lot of comedians, it doesn't have to be one that kills you. I'm just saying, do you have one being a guy who's maybe cynical, negative, whatever?
No.
From what?
No, you cannot.
That won't kill you? No, I guess I'm all right. That's the only upset. I don't.
You have a dark side, though? You have a little dark corner you go to when your comedy comes out of, maybe?
There's days I shouldn't be out in public. Seriously, I don't want to be around myself. It's, ask my wife.
Right.
How long she'd be happy to see me when I come home from a road trip.
Right.
No.
She's got a puss on her face. I'm getting in the car.
How long you married?
It'll be 12 years in March, but I've been with her it'll be 21 years.
That sounds familiar.
See, I waited.
Is that what you did too?
I'm married 12 years. We're together. I think this it'll be 19 or something along those
Yeah,
lines.
there you go.
Long time before you pulled the
Yeah,
trigger.
so you know my heart was not proposed.
Right.
Waited
I had
9
a- we
years.
had a guy
All
last
right,
night.
here's your ring, bitch.
You know, part of the whole Manuary thing we do is like every Tuesday night we take like 10 of the listeners. We go to like a high-end steak joint. We sit down and just all guys, everybody's just whatever.
Nice.
Conversation doesn't matter, whatever happens. Dude sitting next to me is like is in the same situation. He's getting married. They've been together for like 14
Yeah,
years,
long
like the
time.
whole deal.
Tim,
And I'm
right.
just like, listen, man, I'm going to tell you the same thing every male role model in my life. Because we all go through the same thing. My father, my friend's father, don't ever get married. And we're like, yeah.
You hear that
careful,
all
at
the
least.
time.
all the time. Don't ever get married. And we all say the exact same thing. You don't know my girl. She's cool.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you're a dick.
Yeah, she's
she's the
she's
coolest.
cool. Present tense.
And, right.
Let me talk to you in about a year.
And that's what you talk about. Yeah, you're probably my father. You're probably getting head on the LIE, right? Right? And they all start high-fiving each other like, yeah, that's going to stop. No, that'll never end. Right. My ass. And we're all trying to tell this dude, and he's walking off the plank. He's going.
Yeah,
Well-
he said I've been around a long time with her, and he says, you know, it's just time. 14 years. He
Well,
goes, I
you-
put it off a long time.
You get to the point where I did pretty well girl-wise when I was young.
Right.
And then comedy on top of it. And there was a point, I was like, 30, in my late 30s, and I woke up in a hotel. I'm smoking hot chick that was like 14 years younger than me. And I was bored stiff. I couldn't wait to get her out of there. And I go, this might be it.
Wow.
And I was wrong.
Drop the ball on that one.
I was wrong.
No, but you do get tired of that. I mean, if you're a guy that gets around, not every
Yeah.
guy gets a lot, but everybody's different, I guess. But yeah, that got a little tired after a while. But
Poor you. Poor you.
I had it good
You
for
know
a
how
while.
many guys in
now I
that
look
car-
like Steve
Right,
Mariucci.
right.
Not so
You know how
much.
many guys are in that car right now, either turning it
guy.
off or saying, fuck him?
Well, it was fun,
You're a big sports guy. What do you think about the whole deflating the balls
I love
thing?
it. I love my Patriots.
Do you?
I love that
Yeah.
everybody hates them so much. They have to bring this crap up.
You
Ooh.
feed on that, huh?
Huh? Oh,
But think about it. It is cheating to deflate him enough to give Brady another edge.
Listen.
I mean, that would be somewhat wrong, wouldn't it?
yeah. Well, how deflated were they that the refs didn't notice? I mean, come
Well,
on.
one did, right?
Yeah, one
One guy threw it out.
You
He
know what?
felt it. He
I
knew.
tell you,
Well, a
you see, now
player-
I hate the Patriots,
I know
but
you do. You should.
But well, not really. We beat them twice in the Super Bowl. Giants did. But
You're
anyway,
still living on that. It's all the Giants.
I got that's right. So, but
All right,
but here's the
we'll
thing.
give you that.
I love the fact. I think Bill Belichick is a total prick, and I'd want him as my
Of
coach.
course you would.
I want the guy who's going to do whatever it takes
This is exactly right. And
to
he-
win.
And
if my coach is ballsy enough to send some guy to videotape somebody else's practices,
first of all,
Yeah, good.
I'm so
Whatever.
tired of that story.
What-
Yeah,
I'm just
Everybody's
using
doing
it
that.
Just using it as an example.
No, I know.
Or if my coach is telling the ball boy, do me a favor, it's cold
Yeah,
out
he's
here.
trying-
Deflate those balls
Get a little
bit
air
and
out
tell
of
him
it.
how to-
I love that about him, and I mean he's super great coach.
Chili,
But
brilliant.
what else I like about him is they're up 45-7. There's 4 minutes left. He still has Brady in there. That's what I like about. He's
Right.
like gung. He's just like
gunkered in.
he's like a college coach who wants to run up the score.
Right.
I love this
He's
guy.
going to stick the knife in again.
You can understand it. I'm 53 years old. I started watching the Pats. I probably
Right.
went over
They're
this last
horrible.
time when I was 6. 1968, I started following the Patriots.
The
Okay?
Boston Patriots.
They were the laughing stock of. Saw the first time they got a Super Bowl. I was 20. It was 1985, so I was 20.
It's a long time to
Yeah,
wait.
17 seasons. They were a laughing stock. They would put your bag over your head when you went to
Right.
they had the worst stadium. I still pinch myself today.
Yeah.
I still wake up and go, now I'm seeing they put up statistics. He just passed Tom Landry. When I was a kid, I hated the Cowboys because they were always
right,
good.
right.
Yeah.
Tom Landry was
Staubach.
just like Belichick, emotionless, and
Great
and the
coach,
Steelers. And now the Pats are being mentioned in the same breath as the Steelers and the
Right.
Cowboy. I mean, Robert Kraft. I wake up and I see Brady. I'd marry that guy.
Right.
Tell my
Kraft or Brady or
And
both?
now you know
Both
how
of
some
them.
of us
Both.
feel
Threesome.
about Derek Jeter.
Huh? No, absolutely. No, absolutely.
But what I like about the it's
Deflating
like,
the
you had Aaron Hernandez going to jail for murder. Gronkowski.
You gonna pin that on the Patriots?
No.
Never thought they would be this good.
It's going back to Belichick.
No, you're
You
right.
got. I mean, his two biggest receivers. You got a Jewish kid named Edelman as like a monster wide receiver. You officially can do anything with anybody they hand him at this point.
Exactly right,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
That kid could have been a doctor. He's throwing.
Hernandez is killing people. He's not playing. Gronkowski's breaking every bone in his body. He's not playing. But you're still going to the AFC
They
Championship game.
plug in. It's a
amazing.
system, and they buy into it. That's why I hate when stuff comes up like this. The deflated ball.
Right.
It People don't think about the other stuff. Like you just said, he's been plugging guys in for years. Running backs, doesn't matter. I swear to God, he'd put you in tomorrow and you'd have 180 yards.
And it's also as a Giant fan, and I don't hate the Jets. I'm just not a Jets fan because I think that whole organization is ass backwards.
Yeah.
How the hell did you So you got rid of Revis. You let that thing go, right? He ends up in Tampa. That blows up. He says he wants to come back to you. You decide, not worth it. He goes to the Patriots. Now he's going to the Super Bowl.
I know. You going to tell me he's not in love with the Belichick system?
Yeah, no kidding.
Exactly right.
He should actually, after they win the Super Bowl, if they win the Super Bowl, he should go teabag Woody Johnson.
Somebody should.
He should drop his balls right on Woody Johnson's chin.
Yeah, Woody Johnson. I don't know what he's thinking. My God. What a mess.
No, he's horrible. Hey, we're hanging with comedian Nick DiPaolo. NickDip.com is his website.
Are you a podcast guy yet?
Yes.
You do your own podcast?
Yes.
Cool. You like
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Is it making you rich?
Oh, no. Christ, no. I still sell weed to school children during the day. But, no, I'm not making, I have
just
a couple
sit in your house by
reads.
yourself and do it with a microphone and record the whole thing?
Yeah. And I love it because I love radio. I did it, I absolutely love radio.
You used to do a show in the city.
Didn't you? Yeah, you did when it was Free FM. You were on there, right?
Free FM, then the Nick and Artie thing, and I absolutely.
Oh, right, it was you and Artie.
Yeah.
I forgot about who you were. I was just going to ask you who it was.
So I have him. This is going to be sad, and you might get mad. I have him in my celebrity death pool.
Oh, great.
I don't want
His
to.
mother has him at number 2 behind.
He has himself.
Yeah, he has himself. Artie. But you know what? The guy's, you can't kill the guy. His constitution is scary, man. I mean, we were in Afghanistan. He goes, dude, you got Ambien on you, don't you? I go, yeah, because it's like a 20-hour flight or whatever.
Oh,
and I hand him like 2 Ambien, and he just gives me a dirty look. I go, what? That's not going to make. He goes, yeah, it'll put my foot to sleep. So I give him like 2 more. I see him take like 4 Ambien. I look over 2 hours later, he's staring out the window like he just had a cup of coffee.
Wow. Doesn't affect him at all?
Nothing.
What were you guys going to Afghanistan for? Like a USO thing?
USO tour, yeah.
Oh, cool. That's
it was awesome.
So I have like another week before I can switch my final. Do you tell me I should take Artie out of my celebrity death pool?
He's like,
not going?
He's never going.
I've been hearing about that. for 15 years now.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what.
He's the Ozzy of comedy.
Oh, my God. I've never seen anything like it.
You were talking about Louis earlier being a great mind. What's Artie's mind like? What is Artie Lang like as a comedian? I mean, he seems brilliant.
He is. He has a great comedy mind. I wonder if it wasn't all polluted with all this.
Right.
I mean, what he was capable of, taking over the world. He's, super sharp, even, being a little hazy. I don't know, maybe he's clean. I don't know. But I know him before, while he was a mess when I used to do Stern.
Right.
And he'd still be sharp as a tack. And he's a smart guy, Artie.
Incredible.
Right.
He's street smart.
Yeah.
And he we had those 2 girls on the show, those 2 blonde girls on Nick and Artie, and they went to the University of Tennessee or something. They went to college. And Artie used to just beat on them because they didn't know anything about anything. You know what I mean?
So
about history or anything. He would just tear me, and he was right.
Wow.
He'd ask him some question. I'd be hiding because I didn't know him, and I went to, But Artie's, he's a very interesting guy. Yeah, anyways.
You have kids?
I don't have kids.
Oh, God.
I had to. I lost them at a mall.
Did you?
A couple of years ago. I was at the yarn barn, and they wandered
You're
away.
at the yarn barn?
How many of your friends with kids
Worst store in the mall.
tell you the same thing? You have no idea how lucky you are you don't have kids.
Yeah, a lot of, every one of them, actually, and they're like, do you mind
crazy.
taking Teddy and dropping off at a bridge? I don't know. My brother has, I get sad in some days. My brother has my nephew is like 12 now. He's playing hockey.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I get sad, that I don't have a son that I can take to ball games and stuff. I have to go with an 18-year-old Filipino girl. And, I do. There's days where it bums me out that I don't.
Really?
Because, but then there's other days.
But then the rest
Like
of
Monday, Monday through Friday.
When I'm on
I wake up at noontime and
when I'm on vacation.
And how long you been married?
it'll be 12 years in March.
Did you guys have that conscious decision before you got married? Listen, we're at the point where you guys were in your 40s when you got married,
it
early
wasn't
40s?
a conscious thing not to have kids. It
No.
was I get hit with a softball in the wrong area. And no.
So you're
But,
shooting blanks, but
you know that
listen,
whole-
you've
you
worked
know,
it out.
I'm not just.
You know that whole
me.
part about it, you get a little upset. You get a little upset about not being able to take your kid to a ball game. When
Yeah.
I was a little, one of the very first memories, my father coached my soccer team, and we were just like kicking the ball around. My father was 300 pounds his whole life, 280, 300
Really?
his whole life.
Big man, yeah.
And I remember just the very first day, we're kicking a ball around before the game, and I dropped to hit him right in the nuts, dropped him. So you missed out on that. So look at the bright side.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah.
Well, listen, Nick DiPaolo is playing the Suffolk Theater tonight.
I love that place.
Sold out last time. Loves the room. He's going to come out firing like last time as usual.
Yeah.
And you know what? It sucks that it's tonight because we're doing the body sushi tonight. So if you can get
I
him
feel
to start
so bad for you guys.
Well, no, if you
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm trying
California roll up a girl's ass.
What I'm trying to
Horrible.
say is if you can get that show a little started, you can come in,
I don't have that kind of juice.
have some sushi off a stripper, and then head out to Riverhead.
So what time is your show then?
God, there's so many horrible jokes I could make.
Go ahead.
No, the show's that's a good question. 8 o'clock start.
All right, Nick. Thanks for coming back,
Fellas.
in, man.
Thank you for
Appreciate it
having
Hey,
me.
very
no
much.
problem.
Appreciate it.
Door's
Everybody go
always
see
open,
Nick
brother.
tonight at Suffolk Theater in Riverhead.